Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here at T. Roy Cooks. I really appreciate it. And thanks for joining me on this second episode of Thursday Chat with Troy. I really had a lot of feedback, and I appreciate each and every one of you for giving me the support and the feedback that you did on my original episode 1 last week. I was pleasantly surprised that I had so many fantastic comments from all of you, and a lot of great questions as well. So thank each and one of you for asking questions, the ones that you did. I really appreciate it. I've got a few of them here. I'm gonna see if I can go through them for you. And I actually had quite a few of you had said, don't worry about the length of the video, we just enjoy watching you talk about barbecuing and stuff and filming and whatnot. So I really appreciate it. And it's really odd that if you look on my channel, my really high viewed videos, the highest viewed videos that I have, they're usually over 20 minutes long. So maybe I'm onto something here, I don't know, but y'all stick around for the ride. I appreciate it. So let's get down to these questions here. All right, and this first one I combined, it's actually two people that asked this question several different ways, so I kind of combined them. A longtime subscriber of mine, Matt Covington, and also one of my good friends, John. He has his own channel on YouTube, Rivet Gardner. They both asked similar type questions, so I just decided to combine them, and it's actually like 3 questions in one. Oh, and before I get to the questions, again, check the description box below the video. Click show more to open that description box. You'll find video channels for like Rivet Gardner. You'll find all of the places where you can buy these items that I'm fixing to discuss and answering my questions. And you'll find my social media and everything else that you would ever need. And also, I'm trying to list out each of the questions that I ask and answer on video, and there's a point in time within the video that I can select and say, this question was asked at 2 minutes and 13 seconds in. This question was asked at 4 minutes and 56 seconds in. So you can click those links within the description. It'll take you straight to that part of the video. It's a good thing that YouTube does for that. So again, Matt and my buddy John, Rivet Gardner, they asked, what's your favorite rub, your personal favorite rub, and your go-to rub when you're not filming? It kind of depends on what I'm cooking. If I'm just grilling something quick, a weeknight or something, after work meal, and I'm grilling it on my gas grill, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go with some Tango Spice Company's spice blends. Tango Joe, and he has a Tango Joe show on YouTube, y'all check him out. Tango Spice Company has some fantastic spice blends, multi-award winning. I love them because they don't have a lot of sodium, if any at all. And he's got, I think he's like up to like 8 or maybe 9 different flavors, blends. He's got it going on. He's got some fantastic spice blends. Y'all check them out if you haven't already. Tango Spice Company. Also, for barbecue rubs, I would say it's a toss-up between 2 different companies. I like to shop locally, so there is a local here in Texas anyway. Bill Cannon, who operates Texas BBQ Rubs, makes some of the most fantastic rubs that I've ever had. I really love his wild rub, but his Grand Champion, his regular rub, and his old number 2 brisket rubs, they're all fantastic. I've tried them all. You've seen me use them on my videos. Texas BBQ Rubs, y'all check them out. And my second go-to for barbecue would be Oakridge BBQ. You can actually see me using their rubs a lot as well. Like I said, I like to kind of change it up so I'm not using the same rub every week, just to give it a little different taste. And even combining rubs would work, It's good stuff. What's my favorite barbecue sauce? That's a timely question, because I would have said my very most favorite barbecue sauce up to this past weekend would be You Want It, from my good buddy Manuel, who has Rabbits BBQ on YouTube. And I'm not here just plugging my YouTube friends. They really make some excellent products, folks. If you haven't tried You Want It or the Tango Spice Company's spice blends, y'all go check them out and give them some support on their YouTube channels as well. They sell these other products as just a side business to help them support their YouTube videos and their families. So But You Want It. I really like Manuel's. He's got a spicy barbecue sauce that I'm just I adore it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This past weekend, though, one of my good friends from North Carolina, who's a subscriber, he told me about his parents who started producing, they came up with their own recipe. I think it's his mom's recipe for a North Carolina style vinegar and tomato based barbecue sauce. They've started bottling it. I think they've been bottling it for a few years now, and he sent me some to sample. And I've got to say, I tried the spicy version of that. It's called Tim Buck's barbecue sauce. Tim-Buck's barbecue sauce. That is some wonderful sauce. It's right up there, right in line with You Know You Want It. Really an excellent blending of flavors, and it's a thinner sauce, so you have to baste it a little bit more. But the You Know You Want It's fairly on the thin side too. Down here in Texas, we really like the thick stuff, you know. If we barbecue sauce anything at all, and sometimes we just have barbecue sauce on the side. We don't even put it on the meat. But I really do like that that Tim Buck's, and I really like You Know You Want It barbecue sauces. Next question: where did you learn about grilling? You know, it's really weird. I never knew my dad to own a grill or a barbecue, a smoker or anything until he was probably 50, you know, when we were all moved out of the house and my parents were doing their own thing. Me and my brother actually bought him a Weber type smoker, and he did use it. But growing up, we never had anything. We did barbecue, it was in the oven. So when I decided to start getting into doing low and slow barbecue, once I moved out here in Texas, did a lot of research. I watched a lot of my good friends on YouTube, even before I started on YouTube. And just off the top of my head, you know, a handful of them. I'm not disrespecting any of the others who are out there doing barbecue. I'm just off the top of my head. Got to go with JB. My buddy JB is a dear friend of mine. Him and his family are fantastic. They're out of Baton Rouge. He has Louisiana Cajun recipes on YouTube. Y'all check him out. Used to watch JB religiously, man, just every week, several times a week. In fact, he was doing some really good videos back then, and still is. I would also say Larry Wolfe at the Wolfe Pit. I learned a lot from Larry, and also Russ Jones, Smoky Ribs, Mr. Smoky Ribs, and my buddy Dan from Nebraska. I think he's in Lincoln. Mr. SmokeyGoodness. Who else? Oh, Big John over Big Meat Sunday, and also Chris from Mother's Barbecue, and oh, I can't forget Ballistic BBQ. Greg, you know, hey man, if you want to learn how to make a burger or do some grilling on your Weber, Greg's your guy, man. Ballistic BBQ. All of them are great cooks outright. They do their own thing. I love watching them cook, and they've inspired me when I was first getting going. And also, I checked out barbecue forums on the internet. I did what I could to do a lot of research, because I'd honestly never barbecued before. When y'all saw me starting to barbecue on this channel is when I started. So we learn together as we go. I've come a long way since I began. I'll go check out my older videos and see, man, I've come a long way. All right, let's move on here. Mac M asks, could I ask what type of camera you're using? Well, the camera that you see there is the same camera as this. I've got two identical cameras. These are Canon G30s. The one that you are seeing me filmed on right now has a Rode mic on it. It's a shotgun mic. This one, I've got a little V setup here so that I can have both an LED light, which helps a lot at nighttime or in the evening shoots when my face is in the shadow. I'll light this baby up and it'll put some light on me. Also, I've got a stereo Rode mic here. This is another VidMic Pro. It's made by Rode, R-O-D-E. And the Canon G30 video camera, or camcorder that I have here. I love it. I've had it for 2, maybe 3 years now. I don't use all the features that are on it, but it's got a ton of loaded features. But I do love it. I shoot at 60 frames per second and 1080p. I can't say enough about this. It's a wonderful camera. Also, I've got some light boxes that I set up like it's getting close to winter time, so it's going to start getting dark before I even get home from work nowadays. So if I'm shooting at night, I'll set up some shadow boxes. I got a couple of them with LED lights that blast daylight type light onto my scene, so you can see what I'm cooking and see me. And for audio, I've also got not just these Rode mics, I've also got a couple of Sennheiser mics, which I use on a boom pole with a separate audio recorder, which is a Sound Design. It's a 744T. Don't have it here with me right now, but I do use that. I'm still learning how to use that. But the sound quality is excellent. What else we got here? If y'all want to see more about my setup, let me know. I'll be happy to just do a video like this of nothing but all of my equipment, just so y'all see what what I use when I shoot. This is my normal setup though. Either I'm using that mic with the boom, the shotgun mic on it, or this other camera, identical camera G30 by Canon with the Rode stereo mic. So either shotgun or stereo mic with the Canon G30. Oh, the Canon G30 was upgraded. I think I forgot to mention that. They've now got the G40. So if you're looking for the G30 like I have, you've got to buy it used or refurbished. If you buy a new one, it's likely to have been refurbished. I think the G40's been out about 6 or 8 months now. So the G40 has actually got more features than this one. Give them a shot, man. They're good stuff. But other than that, just the regular, Canon DSLRs work. I've got one of those also, but I rarely use it for video because it only shoots at 30 frames a second. At least the one I've got. I've got the T3i, I think, something like that. All right, let's see. Another question. Runty Kimka 1. Just wondering if you've ever used a temperature control device like the Party Q on your Weber Smoky Mountain. No, I haven't. It's a great question. I've got the Barbecue Guru Cyber Q, and I've used it on my Kamado Joe once, maybe twice. I do use it on my Weber Smoky Mountain and the Kamado, and also my Yoder Wichita, but I use it just for the meat probe features. I don't use the fan. For my Weber Smoky Mountain, it's a set it and forget it, and I don't really need to regulate the heat in there. Once I set the vents, it maintains that temp, so I don't see a need to have the fan try to help it maintain heat when it does it all by itself. And the same with the Kamado Joe. I don't really need the fan in it. The Kamado Joe maintains a temp. You set the vents, you're good to go. As far as the offset, my Yoder Wichita offset smoker, it would be kind of ridiculous to use the fan blowing over the wood when I know every 45 minutes to an hour I'm going to have to add another stick regardless of what that fan's doing. So I don't use it on my offset at all. But I do love the wireless feature. You can actually, I can on my cell phone, I can dial in wirelessly to the CyberQ and control it. I can check my temps. I can change temps for the meat probes and whatnot. So I do like that about it. So if I want to go inside and it's cold out here in the outside, I'll use the CyberQ just so that I can use my iPhone to check temps, because my normal go-to meat probe is the Maverick ET733, and it does have a wireless range, but once I go inside, by the time I go back in my man cave where I can watch some football or something, I don't get a good signal. So I frequently lose a signal, and that little receiver will start beeping at me, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. So I just, if I'm going to be using it long range, the CyberQ is what I use. If I'm doing it short range, where I'm just out here at this table and my barbecue pits are right over here, then I'll use my Maverick ET733. Byron Chandler asks, hey Byron, man, you're always like one of the first ones to answer or comment on one of my videos, man. Appreciate the love. Byron asks, what do you love about spare ribs? I love spare ribs more than baby back ribs. I like spare ribs because they have more meat on them. The meat has a better flavor also. I just like the flavor of them. The baby backs Karen loves, so I will cook baby backs time to time. The baby backs do have more meat kind of on the center where the rib is really super curved. The spare ribs are kind of more flat, so they cook a little more evenly, I think. But they're both good. I love beef ribs also. Beef ribs are excellent. In fact, you want to see somebody cook some nice looking beef ribs, check out JB, Cajun, Louisiana Cajun recipes. So I just love spare ribs. I've cooked them so much that in fact, I cooked some this past weekend using that new barbecue sauce from Matt and his family from North Carolina. I just know that 5.5 to 6 hours they're going to be done when I'm cooking at about 225 to 250 Fahrenheit. So it's a no-brainer. Baby backs, they cook a little bit faster. They're a little bit more fussy to cook with. They taste wonderful too, though. But I just prefer the flavor and texture of the spares. All right, let's see here. John, 10 Barge. John, you asked a great question here. He says, I watched your video on dry aging the beef in the vacuum bags. And he's talking about the Umai Dry Bags, okay? Question is, how can I pull a vacuum on them, but then the moisture escapes? So how can I vacuum seal that Umai Dry Bag and their bags let the moisture escape? I kind of sort of knew the answer to this, but I actually went to Umai's website. It's umaidrybags.com, I believe. But again, check the description box for the link. I could be wrong. I went to their site, and generally this is what they said on their website. Within the first few days of aging, the proteins that are coating the surface of the meat and the Umai drag material itself. These aren't plastic bags. They're a different material that's patented by Umai. So the proteins coating the surface of the meat and the material that the Umai dry bags are made out of, they unite, forming a perfect transparent shield that both protects your beautifully aging meat while allowing it to release moisture in the surrounding environment. In a sense, think of it this way. You're sucking all the air out. When you do that, these bags bond with the meat. And I think in the last episode, the first episode last week of these Thursday chats, I actually said when you're pulling the meat out of the bag, you have to peel the bag off of the meat. And that is because the bag forms a bond with the meat itself, with the proteins on the surface of the meat. The bags are designed to keep microbacterial mold and stuff out. So nothing can get in, but moisture can get out. So it's like a one-way mirror. You know, you can see one way, you can't see the other. Think of it that way. Yeah, it says a vacuum seal is necessary to pull out the air and a heat seal to seal the opening. And in fact, when I did it, I sealed the opening twice, just as a backup. And what it does, it forms a membrane-like bond with the meat. It's a very effective and a very easy way to dry age beef. If you were serious into dry aging, if you never tried it before, I would strongly urge you to try the Umai bag method first. If you're just adventurous like me, try doing it in your refrigerator at about 34, 35 degrees, 33 to 35 degrees or so Fahrenheit, in the bottom part of your fridge, over some salt, and let air be able to circulate around it. Just leave it in there. You don't have to cover it or anything. Let it go. It's good stuff. All right, another question. This is the last one. Chevy 1121 1947. He asks, is chipped beef dry aged? I honestly didn't know the answer to this one. I had to look this one up. What I found out is that chipped beef is thinly sliced beef. We don't have it a lot. We don't eat it a lot down here in Texas or Louisiana. But I've had it up when I've traveled like to North Carolina and Georgia, stuff like that. I've had it there. Chipped beef is great in the gravy for breakfast, like biscuits and stuff. I've had it that way. Excellent. But chipped beef is a thinly sliced beef that has been dried. It's similar to jerky, but it's not totally dehydrated like jerky would be. Still has a little moisture to it, a little flexibility to it. And sometimes it's salted, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's seasoned. sometimes it's smoked. So you can get a lot of different ways. But it's not dry aged. Dry aging is a lengthy process where you put the meat in an aging environment where it can age over a long period of time, you know, weeks or months. They don't do that with chipped beef. It's just very thinly sliced. It's partially dehydrated, kind of like jerky. It's not aged though. So folks, that's what we got. I do appreciate everyone joining us again for this Thursday chat with Troy. I've got some other questions that were asked. One of them about bark on barbecue, so I'll do that one. And there's somebody asked something about a particular type of barbecue pit or smoker that they bought. They're trying to figure out ways to keep from burning the food up. Apparently it's not circulating the air right or something, so I'm looking into that. So this is fun. I love doing these types of Q&A type segments for you. I hope you get something out of it. Again, check the description box down below. Hit the show more button and y'all check out all these people and products that I mentioned if you're interested. Show my YouTube brothers some love. Order their products to help support their channels and their families. We all love every one of you. Thank you for watching. If y'all enjoy this, y'all give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments with some more questions on this video if you didn't leave one last week. I'll try to answer as many of them as I can, and the ones that I can't, like those others that I just mentioned, I'm leaving them for another episode, maybe an episode all by itself, strictly on that one question, if it's that detailed of a question to answer. So, cheers to all of y'all. Oh, somebody was asking, I think it was Hans from, I think he's in Germany. This is a Yeti Koozie, okay? It says Yeti right here. I don't know if you can see that. He asked what this was and what am I drinking? Well, I'm drinking a Bush beer. There you go. Y'all can see that. It's got the camo colors because it's fall season and hunting weather down here in Texas. So cheers to everybody. Again, thanks for watching. Y'all give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like the video. And hope you share the video. And when you do, please tell all your friends that T-Roy cooks responsibly. We'll see y'all next time, everybody. Cheers.